So I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the time to be here with us today. What we're doing today is that we're talking about Academie Providence, which we all have ties to. And we also have an alumni who's here with us today. So I will be the moderator. I have 4 children who currently attend Academie Providence from grade 1 to grade 6. So I've been part of the Academie Providence family for quite some time. And we're lucky enough to have other parents here with us. Joelle, who just joined us, has been part of the Academie Providence family for almost a decade. Can you believe that? With the 3 and now the 4th, her 4th starting this year for the first year. Her 2 children, twins who are in grade 6, her son who's entering grade 4, and her little one who's starting the petite section. So welcome, Joelle. Thank you for being here with us. We have Maher, who's been with us for a couple of years now. His beautiful daughter has started grade school, so starting in grade 1. Can't believe how fast they're growing. So thank you for Maher for being here with us today. And we have an alumni who is Andrea. She graduated from Académie Providence back in 2015. Got accepted to St. Joseph High School or College in Quebec with honors. So congratulations on that, and is now attending Ottawa U. I believe you're doing political science and law. Is that correct?
Exactly. I enter law in a year.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, congratulations. That's quite the accomplishment. So wonderful. Good for you. So I guess the way we're going to do this is I'll be asking some questions, and then we can, we'll ask questions at a time. So I start with the alumni. So I'll start with Andrea, and then Andrea will answer all of her questions. And then when that's finished, we'll move on to the current parents, and we can create discussions and go forward. And feel free to stop me at any time should you have any questions or want to elaborate on anything specific. We'll try to do it bilingual. So if you do feel comfortable answering some questions in French, we'll do that, and that's how the meeting will progress. So without further ado, let's get started. So I guess we'll start with you, Andrea. So the first question I have for you is, what did you appreciate most about the private school during your time there? And how was your perspective on that changed now that you're learning from a distance from a different school?
I find this a very interesting question because most of my friends went to public school, mostly in this area. And when you tell someone you went to a private school with less than 100 students, everyone is shook. So I think the biggest difference would be the attention teachers would have on you, and each one would concentrate on your own education and the way that you're able to learn. So for example, I'm a visual learner. So my teachers, they knew that, and they would help me with colors and with examples. They knew that they could repeat me something 10 times and it would still not go in my head if I didn't understand. But once they showed me how to do it, they knew that I would fully understand how to do that. And I think how Academie really changed me, it gave me all these tools in life to learn more and to be able to find my own way of learning and how to be social and ask for help mostly.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So you feel like you did have an advantage, I guess, going into the school that you were in compared to the other students coming from maybe not a private school or not from the school.
Exactly.
Académie Providence. Okay, awesome. What to the best of your knowledge, most differentiates the school from others?
Honestly, I would say the bond between students and the family feeling. Like, I would go to school and I had this one teacher, I'm sure you all know, I think she's retired now, Madame May, and I would mix up her name with the name Mama. I'd say like mother, because of how close she was. And all of my teachers too, I would mix up their names because you just feel like you have all your mothers there. At my time, we didn't have any male professors or teachers, but then you just feel how caring they are and how much all of your friends also care about you, and everyone loves each other, even though we'd get into like silly little fights as kids. And at the end of the day, we wouldn't even need a teacher to tell us like, oh, go talk to your friend and make it fine. It's just like, oh, hey, you're my brother, or hey, you're my sister. Like, don't take anything against me. I love you.
That's cute. So do you still have relationships with these friends that you
Yes.
with? Yeah.
Actually, I'm still friends with, I'd say honestly, most of them or all of them actually.
Okay.
My best friend, I'm sure you guys know her, Chloe. I've known her since we were little kids, and she's still my closest friend till now.
Awesome. So how big were your class? Like back when you were in school, did you have big class sizes? How did you feel about the class sizes?
So we started as a big class. We were maybe about, not really big, but about maybe 15 students when I was in kindergarten. And then as we grew, there were less and less students coming in, or else I guess some just had found their other ways. But then you would find I really liked it. At the end, we were maybe 4 students in my class, but then we had mixed classes by that time.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. If your school were to be represented as a single person, what would its personality be like in only 3 words?
I would describe Academie Providence as caring, genuine, and honestly just fun. I would be excited to go to school on a daily.
Yes, that's the most important thing, with students, is that as long as our kids are happy going to school, then they're doing something right. Okay,
Exactly.
awesome. What one thing would you change about the school for the better if you had to choose something?
I thought about this question and I wasn't sure what I would pick because I love the school as it was, and I'm not really able to pick one thing off of my head. I would say back in my days, because we were a lot of Lebanese kids, but nowadays not anymore. And then I would have said maybe a bit of diversity, but then they brought us into this cultural world. I remember in 5th and 6th grade, we went and we visited embassies and we got to learn about other cultures, and I found that very interesting. So honestly, I loved it the way it was, and I wouldn't change anything.
Okay, perfect. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a bad thing, but yeah, I guess diversity, and it
Yeah.
has become quite diverse.
Yeah.
I will say, I
I
think the
feel
other
like
parents
that.
would agree with me on this. So, oh, great. So they listened. They subconsciously listened to your advice, and they went forward with that, which is
Exactly.
great. What would families find most surprising about the school?
I think the joy of students just being there. And then I would, as I said, I would be so excited to go to school, and even leaving school, it's like I wouldn't want to leave. It'd be 4 o'clock and I was like, no, mom, please. And we would beg, let's say, pour le service de garde. We would ask our parents to sign us up for it just to spend more time with our friends and more time with our teachers. As though in other schools, I feel like staying pour le service de garde, it's like something bad. It's like, oh, your parents are gonna be late. But we would beg them to sign us up in the activities after school and to be able to just hang out with our friends. I think other people would be very shocked by it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Did you do any extracurricular activities like after school at the school?
Yes. So I did at the school. I did some out of school too, but at the school I had signed up for dapke and for piano.
Amazing. Good. What advice would you give students just entering the school?
Don't be scared. Just go there with the mindset that you want to meet some new friends, and everyone is super friendly. Mostly the teachers, everyone is super caring. If you don't feel fine or uncomfortable, you can just tell a teacher or just confine in one of the students, and they'll let you meet everyone.
Okay. So I guess it's safe to say you felt secure and safe at the school, and you really
Yes,
enjoyed your time.
very much.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I mean, those are all the prepared questions. Is there anything you want to just add right before you go? I know you're at work and you took time out of your day, so thank you for doing that. I know you have to head back. So before you go, is there anything else you want to kind of add?
I just want to say how much Academie, it honestly had a big impact in my life, and it gave me all the tools to be able to go after what I want. And I don't think I would have been able to be the person I am nowadays, today, if I hadn't gone to Academie Providence, because honestly, they taught me that if you want something, perseverance. They taught me if you want something, you can get it and you can reach it, even though there's a few mountains you'll have to get past through.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you and to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day at work.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now it's just the three of us. So we can start with the parent questions. Is someone want to go first? Would someone have a preference to go first? Oh, Maher. Okay, perfect. So I'll ask you a question, and when you're done, Joelle, the same question will be asked to you, and then we'll only go forward after both have answered. Okay, and I might chirp in a little bit too with some answers too. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So Maher, why did you choose the school originally? In which ways is the school what you expected? In which ways is it not?
Merci Amanda. Je voulais répondre en premier parce que c'est toujours un peu récent pour moi. En comparant avec toi et Joël, vous avez des enfants plus âgés, alors vous avez fait cette décision il y a quelques années. Mais pour moi, ça fait juste 3-4 années que j'ai fait cette décision, une décision très importante. Alors, la raison que j'ai choisi l'Académie, c'était plutôt les valeurs traditionnelles pour moi. Je suis moi-même un élève du secteur éducatif privé du Liban. Puis je voulais quelque chose qui reproduit cette ambiance-là, ce genre de discipline, de valeurs élevées, éthiques, pour ma petite fille Vienna. Alors, c'est ça un peu que je voulais et j'ai bien trouvé ça dans l'Académie Providence. J'ai trouvé un milieu qui prend au sérieux l'éducation, la discipline, les valeurs éthiques et aussi qui tient les professeurs, l'école même et les élèves à des exigences élevées pour l'éducation. Alors, c'est ça un peu qui m'a impressionné dans l'école et j'ai aussi trouvé le sens de famille, le sens de communauté qui existe, qui est divers à ce point-ci, quelque chose qui était important pour nous, pour notre choix.
Okay, perfect. And is there anything that it wasn't in the way that you expected it to be?
Andrea sort of said something that reminded me at the beginning when I first visited the school. I was surprised that there were so few people in the later classes and almost graduating from the school. And I think one thing that I would have loved to see is for the school perhaps to expand at some point and add grades all the way up to high school. There are good reasons, I think, why this is so, and I find that the retention of students have improved, and it's probably due to, it's not easy to put together a private school, to put the level of expectations and ambition that this school has. And it's an evolution. It's not something that would happen in one day. And so I see it evolving, and I'm very excited about where it's going to go.
Thank you so much, Maher. Joelle?
So, yes, on a commencé depuis plus que 8 ans ou 9 ans à l'Académie. Donc, les enfants ont commencé, les jumeaux ont commencé depuis qu'ils avaient 3 ans. Maintenant, ils ont 11 ans. Donc, c'est un long trajet avec l'Académie. Je pense que pour une personne qui arrive du Liban, donc moi, je suis mariée et puis j'ai immigré au Canada. Donc, pour une personne qui a eu le même background que toi, Maher, j'étais dans une école privée au Liban, dans une école des sœurs aussi. Donc, je voulais faire un mimique pour mes enfants de ce que j'ai vécu quand j'étais petite. Et j'ai cherché ici, le plus proche que j'ai trouvé, c'était l'Académie, la famille de l'Académie, je vais l'appeler. C'était vraiment un environnement où je me sentais à l'aise pour envoyer mes enfants, car ça va prendre l'environnement de la maison et le mettre dans l'école. Donc, c'est une continuité. Et pour arriver à des meilleurs résultats, donc tu veux que ce que tu apprends à la maison, ça continue à l'école aussi. Qu'on ne soit pas dans une contradiction ni de valeur, ni de tradition, ni de culture. Donc, c'est une continuité. Maintenant, je me sens que j'ai réussi cette décision après 9 ans. Si nos enfants sont entourés avec une cinquantaine d'autres élèves, un nombre élevé d'élèves, tu peux dire ce sont des élèves uniques, ce sont des élèves qui ont été probablement à l'académie. Ça se voit de la façon qu'ils parlent, de la façon qu'ils respectent les autres personnes, de la façon qu'ils utilisent leur vocabulaire qu'ils ont appris à l'école. Donc, je pense qu'on peut dire ce sont les élèves de l'académie, mes enfants et les autres. Donc, je suis fière de cette décision. Pour moi, ce que Angie a dit à propos du nombre et ce que tu as mentionné, Maher, je trouve que c'est un bonus pour nos enfants. Donc, je ne le prends pas d'un côté négatif. Un enfant qui est âgé, un adolescent qui est âgé de 11 ans à 16 ans, il va passer dans beaucoup de phases qui vont être un peu difficiles. Et quand ils sont une trentaine d'élèves à l'école, les maîtresses n'auront pas le même temps à diviser et à s'intéresser à cet enfant. Donc, si elle a 4, 5, 10 élèves pendant 1 heure, elle va avoir plus de temps pour le donner à cet enfant-là. Donc, si un problème est en train de se développer chez cet enfant qui a 11 ans, donc, si une dame passe avec lui, une maîtresse, je vais dire, passe avec lui 7 heures durant les jours d'école, elle va appeler maman, dire, OK, attention, regarde votre enfant est dans cette phase, donc prenez soin de lui ou adressez ce problème ou discutez ça avec lui. Mais quand on est en train de les envoyer là où il y a une trentaine d'enfants, il va être kind of lost dans tout ce qui se passe autour de lui. Donc, pour moi, c'est un bonus. Donc, c'est comme tu as un enseignement spécifique pour toi, particulier. Oui.
I do believe that thank you very much. That I do echo both of your answers, and it's a true feeling of family when you're sending your most precious possessions, which are your children, to an environment that is safe and is reflecting of what the home environment is. So I do agree with both of you. I do see the class sizes continuing to grow. I think with our children, Joelle entering grade 6 with such a substantial amount of children, I think that will just continue with us, and we'll just see the school continuing to grow. So thank you both very much. So the next question is, what does your child have to say about the school? Maher.
Oh, mine loves it. Alors, même pour moi, j'ai vraiment vu cette passion pour l'école pendant la période du COVID. Là, aussitôt qu'on a arrêté l'école, les 2 premiers jours, c'était OK, c'était la bagarre, on s'amusait, tout ça. Mais j'ai vu, après un peu de temps, 1 semaine, 2 semaines, là, se demander où est Madame Myriam. J'aime Madame Myriam. Elle se questionnait, les amis, elle voulait voir les amis. Puis aussitôt qu'on est revenu sur la plateforme Teams, elle se réjouissait, elle était toute contente. Puis tu le voyais aussi, même son enseignant, Madame Myriam, à plusieurs fois, je l'ai entendu dire le matin, bonjour la famille GS, la famille grande section. Alors, c'est vraiment ce sens de famille qu'elle se trouve un membre d'une deuxième famille, une famille avec des amis de son âge, avec une enseignante qui prend soin d'elle, qui l'aime. Alors, pour elle, je le vois, c'est vraiment un sens d'apprentissage avec ses amis qui le convient. qui est dans un environnement sécuritaire, un environnement d'amour, d'un environnement d'exploration. Pour elle, c'est ça. Puis elle s'ennuie quand elle n'est pas aux côtés de ses amis et de ses enseignants. Puis en effet, la dernière journée, avant les vacances d'été, elle pleurait toute la journée. Elle ne voulait pas dire bye à son enseignant. Elle savait que ses amis vont rester avec elle, mais Madame Myriam lui a vraiment porté à cœur.
Yeah. She's a wonderful teacher. I could vouch to that with Nathaniel being in her class too. She did a fantastic job. Thank you, Maher. Joelle?
Les enfants aiment. Ils sont excités maintenant pour être de retour à l'école. Je pense qu'ils s'amusent, qu'ils apprennent et qu'ils grandissent aussi. Donc, tout se passe dans leur vie pendant ces 7 heures de jour. Donc, on a une 24 heures pendant une journée, mais la plus grande partie de ces heures-là se passe à l'école. Donc, vraiment, ils passent beaucoup plus de temps à l'école que chez nous à la maison. Donc, ils s'amusent bien. Parfois, il y a des hauts et des bas, bien sûr. Donc, un peu trop de devoirs, trop d'examens, trop de blablabla. Mais dans une impression générale, ils sont vraiment toujours intéressés d'aller retourner à l'école, s'amuser et apprendre. Je ne me rappelle pas d'aucune journée où les enfants ne voulaient pas aller à l'école. Même dans les journées d'hiver très intenses. Donc, ils voulaient aller à l'école. Ce matin, pour la réalité, Brian, il m'a demandé combien de jours encore il y a pour l'école. Je lui ai dit, il y a encore 2 semaines. Il m'a dit, donc, vous savez maintenant c'est qui les enseignants. Dites-moi c'est quoi leur nom. Je veux Madame Racha avec moi l'année prochaine. Ouais.
It's beautiful, the relationship that they the relationship that they have
With the teachers.
with the teachers. Sorry. Oh, cancel there. Sorry, I was just having some technical issues. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Okay. The relationship, especially as they grow. And like you said, our kids have now been there for 9 years and some of the teachers are still there. So they've helped raise our children. So my kids love the school as well. I think their only complaints is that a lot of homework and they're strict, which is wonderful to hear for a parent. These are the things, you know, you want to be able to provide some learning at home and some homework so you can follow along with what your kids are doing at school and see their progress. And I like that they're a bit more strict. So keeps, you know, everything kind of together. So it's great. Thank you so much. The next question we have, if your school were to be represented as a single person, what would its personality be like in only 3 words?
To me is knowledgeable,
Yeah.
disciplined, and welcoming.
Okay, perfect. Joelle?
I'm going to go even with 1 word, not even 3. I would
Okay.
say she's a mother. And then
Oh, wow.
by that, I will describe all the qualities you can find in your mother. So whatever you want to learn, do, cry, have fun, you'll go to your mom. So I think this will describe Academie Providence to our kids.
Perfect. Thank you. I did it for fun too. I wrote nurturing, respectful, and intelligent. So I think we're all on the same, you know, the same spectrum of qualities here for the school. So we're all on the same page. Fantastic. Thank you. How would you describe the values of the school and the values of the families in the school community?
Pour moi, les valeurs de l'école sont un peu illustrées dans leur règlement intérieur. Puis, encore une fois, venant d'une école privée moi-même, on avait des règlements intérieurs, des codes d'éthique, mais ils s'appliquaient juste sur les étudiants. Ce que j'ai trouvé très intéressant avec l'Académie est que les règlements intérieurs, ce qui est un peu le code d'éthique de l'institution, est partagé dans 4 parties. La première étant l'école comme institution même, la deuxième, les enseignants, la troisième, les élèves, et la quatrième, les parents. Alors, tu avais vraiment un règlement qui s'appliquait sur tout le monde pour vraiment mettre ensemble cette vision d'une école qui essaye de faire le tout, les valeurs qu'on a déjà décrites dans 3 mots et même plus. Si tu m'as dit, donne-moi 5 mots, je pourrais te dire encore plus sur l'école. Alors, c'est ça qui m'a impressionné. Puis qui m'a impressionné aussi, c'était pas des règlements qui étaient virés, qu'on peut pas changer. C'est des règlements qu'on discute à chaque année avec un conseil d'établissement pour l'école, pour s'assurer que les règlements reflètent toujours les valeurs de l'école, les valeurs des parents, des familles qui sont à l'école, les valeurs de l'école même et les valeurs importantes pour les enfants. Alors, ça m'a vraiment impressionné. Puis, j'ai trouvé que c'était une bonne base qui un peu décrivait toutes les décisions de l'école envers l'apprentissage, envers leur approche vers les enfants et tout. In terms of the values of the families in the community, I mean, I think we've already shared it a bit. It shows in this video that we are making how we all seem to go for the same thing. And you get that sense that all the other families in this school are families that are looking for the same thing, looking for those values of good education, a sense of family, a sense of community. It's also encouraged by our the school's social and family. I forget the exact name, and you would know, Amanda, yourself. But the school committee of the parents committee, in their endeavors to put together events and outings and other things, not only for the students, but also for the parents and the students, to really reinforce the sense of community, the sense of one big family, is, I think, a gem at the heart of the Academie. And when me and my wife looked at various different schools to see what their offering is, we did not see that. There is some sense of community, but not in the way that Academie Providence really encapsulates it, really tries to embody it and live it. I mean, I show up at the door, and no matter who's behind the desk, they know my name and they know my daughter's name. And to me, that's just that's an institution that really cares about every individual and every student and every family.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joelle?
Yeah, so I think as Maher mentioned, we sent our kids there to learn. So that's the big title. And then from this perspective, I think, like from the also the witness of Angie, donc I think she already proved to us that this is the first probably set of alumni we have in Academie Providence. We have successful kids in their future. So from this perspective, I think we're doing, the school is doing what we're expecting, and then we're on the same page with them. From all the other values like of the school, like the excellence, the diversity, the integration, and then how our kids will be in the community in the future, I think we're seeing also successful story from that side. Like our kids act in like a very respectful way to other kids in the community. They interact with each other with love, so they're nice to each other. And then this is probably what we would like from the next generation that's coming to the future in that weird world that we're living. So I think our kids are gonna be ready for that. And then from the other side of how other families have these values, I think we're all on the same page in the school. like we know each other to an extent where we have cousin like in the school, and then we know that I know that Amanda is teaching what I'm teaching to my kids, so I will be like sending my kids to play with her kids as if it's in my house. So I know that she is sharing the same values that we're sharing also with other parents in the school. So this will give you like a peace of mind. And then this is very valuable to me because one kids could influence other kids and then could damage like a whole school. And then knowing that your kids are in good hands, this will be like very peace of mind to me. So we're all on the same page between the families and the school.
Yeah, thank you. I totally agree with you. I think personally, for me, the values is what um, help us make our decisions to send our kids to the school. That was like one of the top reasons. Like the values are really, strong, cultured with love and nurturing and care and respect, along with a high level of education and academic strength. And I do echo what both of you say in the sense that all the families that go there kind of have the same perspective and the same values at home. I love how when we get to school, people say hi to my kids as if they're saying hi to their own children. It's a really huge sense of community where I know all of the children in their kids' class, and it's echoed with the other parents too. The parents committee that we do have in place, and both Joelle and I are lucky enough to be part of that committee now for a few years, has been fantastic. It really gives you a sense to get to know the other children, to get to know their families, to get to know the parents, and going on these different excursions together and inviting parents to come. You really establish a special relationship that you wouldn't necessarily have at different schools, just because of the sheer number of students that do go to the other schools. So that this smaller community allows us to grow together, and we do constantly ask each other for advice, usually always on the same page. And you do have that comfort with other families knowing that they're raising their children with the same values and care that we are, and which is also, being reflected at school. So I do agree with both of you, and thank you very much for that. We do have a bit of time left, so I don't know if anyone wants to add anything or talk about maybe things we did not get a chance to mention that you do like about the school that might help other parents who are looking to decide whether this school is for them. I know when we would go to the conventions before, it'd be easier to talk in person, and they'd ask questions, and the parents watching these videos are at a difficult stage where they're trying to pick, the best thing for their children, and you never know really, are you making the right decision? How do you know? So maybe just give each of us some time to kind of talk about maybe things we did not reflect on, or things you want to, add or say about the school before we kind of close off and end this meeting.
Yeah, I think I'll be adding some that we experienced last year and then half of the previous year. So we can't hide that we are like in a unique phase in our life. So the COVID is not like a small story that we can just turn the page. I think we're gonna probably learn how to live with it for at least the coming years. Let's be optimistic. So I think we had a good experience with all the challenge we had, like with the online learning and then switching from going to school to completely being at home, working and then having the kids learn at home. I think what the Academie and the teachers of the Academie offered last year were amazing, because learning online by itself to adult people is challenging. Being offered to kids is also challenging. But observing the story that started with on and off going to school and then being online, I think we had a successful year. Of course, we reduced a bit of our higher expectation of being in class, having all the integration that the kids should have, and then all the interaction, the social one, especially with other kids. But with the platform that we used, and then the encouragement of the teacher, the support that we get, all the activities that probably mimic to a point what we had usually in our school days. I think comparing to other school, from the story I heard recently, they had a very, very challenging year compared to what we had. Like I will tell you an example. So our kids were spending like the school day exactly how they will spend it in class. They will spend it online with the breaks, with the recess and all of that. Other school, I heard that they will be given in the morning 1 hour with to-do list, be on their own, not on their own, they will be with their parents, spending time beside them to teach them. In the afternoon, they will meet again to have this put in common with other kids and then correct and then observe if they did correct or no. What we had complete interaction. The kids were, as in their class, they will be raising their hand, they will be participating, the teacher will be encouraging them to talk and then to ask question, and then probably to show her what they did and then show the other kids, and then they even had presentation, like oral presentation, as if they were in class. So I just want to highlight that, because hoping not, but we could have like a similar to what we had last year. So by this, I can give like a chapeau bas to Academie and the teacher, especially to all the sacrifice they did last year. So yeah.
Thank you. I too totally agree. The transition from online learning to in-class learning and the back and forth was done very well. I know at the beginning with everybody wasn't expecting, started with a 2-week thing, turned into, months at a time. And the transition was done well. And I agree with you when you speak to other people with regard to their transition and what their kids have had to endure. We're lucky to have had what we had in place, with the teachers being able to quickly just adapt to online. And I know that's not an easy thing. Teachers that can teach properly in person can't necessarily do the same thing. Online is a completely different environment, but they were able to hold the attention, teach the kids independence. It wasn't solely based on parenting. And I don't feel like we've lost a year. I do feel like the kids were still able to achieve some academic advancement, definitely. And they did a great job in transitioning back and forth with the back and forth, and even when cohorts were sent and not the whole school, the transition was done very well. The kids didn't feel like they were missing out on much, and it was really transpired very, very well. So thank you for bringing that up. I know a lot of parents, it's on their mind, unfortunately, as we enter maybe a fourth wave and have to continue to do the transition of back and forth. I definitely feel confidence in the school that our kids will still be okay, should we have to do that again. Thank you, Joelle. Maher?
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 other kids that are in the public sector schools. And one of the things, one that's still there, and one of the things that was a constant source of challenge for me was they would give them material and expect them to do the learning on their own. And then you compare that with what the Academie was doing, which is, as Joelle says, running a day online with breaks and everything. You could see the complete difference between them. But another thing that stuck out to me is some of the teachers also had kids, and they were also at home, and they were also doing online learning, and yet still those teachers had the organizational skills, I would say, to ensure that they are 100% online with our kids, teaching them, and they were managing their work well. So it was definitely a challenging time for all of us, including the teachers of the Academie. But I was very impressed with how the Academie was able to handle it, and how it's able to continue running, and how we were able to switch from one to the one style of teaching to the next. And maybe to add to it also, we were, I think the school could have continued going if it wasn't for a mandatory lockdown for all of the schools, given that we had so few incidences of COVID. There was not even one COVID outbreak in our school. There were kids that perhaps got COVID from outside, or one instance where it was a teacher, but it was never transmitted to any of the kids. And it kind of showed how serious the school took the health and safety guidance when it comes to ensuring the safety of kids, the safety of their parents, the safety of the school and its staff. So that I found very impressive. And while we were hearing of outbreaks in other schools, to see that in ours, there were never any it didn't really communicate at all was a testament for such a smaller school in terms of size and scale compared to others. Yet you didn't have that situation where someone is getting infected in school is a testament to how serious they took that challenge. So to me, it was impressive to see that this panned out the way it is, and that we were able to transition to a good platform, and that the kids learned in the end, and they grew, and they're probably now more adaptable as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's something that we're fearful going into September, ensuring that they are safe, and I think we all have confidence that they do a good job of keeping our kids, safe with the measures that they've put in place. So thank you so much. I would like to add something myself without the COVID thing. I think, at the beginning when we joined the school 9 years ago, there was always that fear of diversity. And I think as the school has grown 9 years later, even 5 years, 4 years ago, the diversity in the school has also expanded, which is fantastic. I know looking in, when you're saying a trilingual school that teaches French, English, and Arabic, well, now that's offering other different international languages, because we have so many more international or different nationalities at the school, is something that is fantastic. And it's great to see the diversity. We went from being, maybe one or two Lebanese or Arabic speaking kids in the class to more than half are no longer, Lebanese or Arabic speaking. So the ability, the sheer diversity in the school is something that is great to see now, as we're, other cultures, and all being welcomed equally and respectfully, and integrated properly into the school. Another thing that I really do enjoy is the extracurricular activities that are offered in-house. So no longer having to go, when piano, guitar, violin, karate, robotics. The robotics program pre-COVID was something to be proud of, going to these competitions and the kids, getting the confidence to present and to do these projects that they work hard as a group, being 2 or 3 children working together, putting together this project and presenting it in such a big arena, and giving them the confidence to do that. The robotics program is something of our future, and having the ability to do that in school without having to run around, especially Joelle, you can attest to this with many kids. Pick up and drop off and driving becomes very logistically difficult, but when they get to just stay at school and do it in-house is something that's pretty fantastic. And the list of activities that are offered in the school, I feel, is something quite unique, and that we're lucky to be able to do that. So I did want to touch on those, as we didn't get a chance to speak about those kind of activities that we do have, and how it's being offered to the kids. So that's something that's great. That's, like I said, unique to our school. And as the activities grow, it's great to be able to do that.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because that was another selling point for us. It's the beauty of putting your kids, having them not only do their schooling but their activities, all in one place, all part of the same sort of family, same institution. It's definitely a plus. And you're right, it's impressive, the breadth and the number of different activities they can be included in. And one more thing I actually wanted to mention as well. I find it interesting in terms of a trilingual school, how that sort of encouraged even diversity. I would say sort of a three-dimensional diversity, where you have kids from, let's say, Lebanese origin, sometimes choosing to learn Spanish, and kids from non-Lebanese origin learning Arabic. And it's interesting to sometimes hear them recite, and it shows that sort of diversity is really it's becoming nicely integrated into the school. And I like also that the school sort of takes other things into consideration. It really tries to, although it holds traditional values at heart, it's not stuck in tradition, and it's not stuck sort of way back there. It really is modern, also has a strong modern outlook, where it tries to teach kids, for example, things like sustainable development, interest in being clean and respect for the environment, and these types of things that are important right now for many people in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, perfect. I agree. Thank you so much. Is there anything else anyone wants to add before we sign off here? Well, I really want to take the opportunity to thank you both, taking time out of your busy days. I know you're both working, so taking this hour to have this discussion with us and talk about the school. So on behalf of the school and everybody in the administration and our kids, I just wanted to really thank you for your time, for your input. It's highly, respected and valued, and I hope the parents watching this walk away with a bit more confidence in their decision, knowing that we are 3 out of many families that were very happy with the decision we made, and will continue to send our kids to the school with confidence, knowing that they are getting the education and the values that we hold so dear. So thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you in a couple of weeks when our kids are back in school, and can't wait to see your little ones and see how they've grown throughout the summer. I miss their faces. So looking forward to seeing you guys very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda.
Us too. Thank you very much, Amanda, for this.
Pleasure. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.